Alright, here we go. So, this is a quick guide on the Corrupted. This is a master run. When Grandmaster comes out, I'll do a little secondary one here just for a few revisions that I myself am going to be doing when it's Grandmaster compared to Master. Now, the Corrupted is a strike, has an Arc Burn, but there's every single shield type. So, there's lots of Void. The center, like the middle of the strike, has lots of Arc Shields, and then at the end, there's lots of Solar. Well, a few Solar and more Void near the end. So, keep that in mind too for what you're running. So this season's unstoppable, either hand cannon or grenade launcher. So there are unstoppable champions, so you want to run one of those. Again, unstoppables, it's not mandatory because you can do most of them from a distance, but it's a little trickier in this one than other strikes. And then there's overloads. There's a few overloads. So most of them are the taken overloads. So, they have snipers, some of them. Doing them from a distance isn't the worst thing in the world. So this might be the one scenario where maybe I prefer running a scout for overload this season compared to like a auto rifle or submachine gun. Anyways, up to you. Bungie does a good job of telling us what to run through artifact mods anyways, so run whatever you feel like, but just keep in mind there's every single shield type in the most annoying places, and then also it's an arc burn. Now, in as far as how difficult the Corrupted is, it's kind of complicated. So, if you're in a fire team, pretty easy, honestly, for a fire team because the boss you can burn down. For solo though, for myself anyways, I'd put this probably the second hardest. Maybe third. I don't know. It's kind of tied with Glassway. Glassway boss has a cheese, where this one doesn't. But again, so fire team, this one's super easy. Solo play, I'd rate this one. It is quite a bit harder because you can't burn the boss down. You got to go through that second phase, which we'll see here in a second. Anyways, as soon as you load in here, you got an overload. Now, after you kill it, you can just keep going straight down that bridge if you feel like it. I myself, I never do that anymore. I always go this way. And after you hop up here, you have a couple choices. So you can, if you want. I don't really prefer this area, but you can go way up here. Hold on, let me clumsily jump over these rocks. Anyways, go up these stairs up at the back here, and you can actually get up on top of everyone here. Now, you're not safe here. They can still shoot you, but you can kind of drop in grenades and such. But just because you are kind of up top, this whole spot, it feels awkward. I feel like it should be safer, but it never actually is safer, in my opinion, anyways. So again, even in a fire team, of three, we seem to have worse luck here. So my preference though is to, instead of after you drop in there, instead of going up top there and around the stairs, is just to stop right here when you jump this gap and just take out the yellow bar from here. As soon as you do the yellow bar, the door will open so you can progress. There are a couple overloads in here and lots of void shields and a couple snipers, honestly. So the overloads, they'll spawn in after a while. So first off, anyways, I usually run to the door there, and this is where I'll attack everyone else from. If I have a grenade, I'll throw that. If not, I just book it. It's a little tougher this week because it's got that drifting apart thing, so especially if you're solo, basically say goodbye to any health regen. That's natural anyways. But from here, you can take out the overload and just pay attention to your screen there, because you're going to see other overloads spawn in. Now, if you can clear the room here before you see this part right here, a champion has appeared. If you can clear the room before that appears and you book it through the door, then you're good. You'll still get platinum. But once it says a champion has appeared, just you'll have to pause and take out that champion. Otherwise, risk losing your platinum. And it seems a little hit and miss for me, whether I get platinum or not by taking out this last one. But so just to stay safe, I always just stick around to kill it. And why not? It takes an extra minute tops, whatever. That's fine. So after you take him out though, then you can move on to the next room, and then you gotta do the elevator. The elevator is super fun. Now, potentially, the hardest part of this entire strike is going to be this elevator room. So, but you have a couple options. So one, cheese, sort of cheese. That's cheese, why not? It's abusing a mechanic, I think, for its not intended purpose. Yeah, so that's like a cheese. Anyways, for right this second, we're going to talk just doing this legit solo. So first thing you want to do, activate it, pick up the ball, drop the ball, focus on killing all these taken silence, because they're more dangerous than you think, because they start multiplying. After you got a handle on them, pick that ball back up and start taking out these guys' immune shields. Now, don't get too close. They have way more range than you ever expect them to. It always surprises me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't learn. And then after that, I'm just gonna play hide and seek around this post here and just clean up their things. So the first guys, they're easier. You know, they're just the orange bars, so they're just majors anyway, so they're easier to take out. But I'm just gonna run laps around this one and then focus on the yellow bar after. Now you'll notice right here, you don't have to actually be on that side. You can kind of pick it up through the wall there. That's for sure easier. Now, once his immunity bubbles pop there, I run to the center part here because he can't hit you with his like normal gun. All he can hit you with are those little like taken bubble spear things, explodey things that he shoots at you. So now for a fire team, same idea. Anyways, you want to have someone focused on the scions and that and take them out right away. But for the other two people on the team, you can both pass a ball back and forth to each other, and it does like more damage after you pass it to somebody. And just as soon as these guys spawn in, you can just throw your bubbles and it's gonna wipe their shields. Now, solo for the second phase, definitely scarier. Again, big focus on the scions because you don't want them around. They're just annoying and far more dangerous, especially when they start multiplying. Other than that though, you're up against all captains this time, all yellow bars, so you're just gonna run laps around this room. Watch out for the spinny take and things. Honestly, I'm probably going the wrong way. It's much easier to go the same direction that those things are spinning in case one does clip you. It does less damage and it's less dangerous. It might just give you a big push. But other than that, you're just gonna do spinnies in this room and just, you know, picking up balls. Now, when you get too close like that, just don't panic, just keep running because most of the time you can just run by them before they do their little push mechanic there. Now the guy that breathes fire, not a priority. Anyways, it's the little pushy guys that you want to take care of. So see that? I'm just spinning around the room. Notice how I'm spinning kind of the inside track more than the outside track just because it is safer because you got a bit more cover because the pushy guys won't come down to the inside track, so you still have a little bit of cover from them. So as long as you don't panic, and as long as you take your time, and as long as you take out all the scions first, it's not that bad. And then same thing for fire team setting, now you don't got a lot of time after you kill that yellow captain, so maybe when he just has a little bit of health, if you're in a fire team, you're gonna have someone pick up the balls and pass them back and forth before that, so you guys are ready. So again, 2 people with balls charged up to do more damage, and then 1 person just focused on killing the scions. Now the guys with the balls, they can still throw grenades and stuff like that to help with scions, but yeah. Now, and then the guy with the fire, definitely not a priority. He's not a threat at all. It's the pushy guys that are definitely the most dangerous thing here. Now, glaives are really good this season. They got some buffs. Now, just keep in mind, see right there, you can use the glaive shield to block these guys' push attack. So it totally blocks it, negates it, whatever. And so something to keep in mind, if you do like running glaives, not a bad situation to run a glaive in because you can protect yourself from their push. Now, if you don't mind using something that's a little bit cheesy, but it's going to make this whole elevator situation like the easiest thing ever, is one thing you can do is use one of the sliding melee attacks, something like the Titan Consecration right here. So what this does is when you're holding the orb ball, you can still do that slide attack, and it's going to do the slide attack, but it's going to do the power of the ball. It's going to take out the immunity bubbles and all these guys right here. See, do my slide attack, and then pops all their bubbles and kills the orange bars, no problem. So makes it way easier. Solar's not the worst thing in the world, especially this week, because it has the drifting apart modifier. So, you know, you get a little bit of restoration in there too for some unnatural healing. So just one thing on this, depending on what your buttons are, especially if you're on console, you want to make sure you're set to auto melee. If you have different bindings for power melee and uncharged melee, then it's not going to work. So just keep that in mind. So, but as you see here, even with the yellow bars, it's going to take them out in one shot. So same thing applies. You know, you still want to take out the scions as much as possible, but your slide attack is going to clear up a lot of those scions too. So you go in there, do your charge attack, pop everybody's shield, you know, and then I just got my super on standby just to clean up the mess after. So way easier, saves you so much time and takes all the headache out of the elevator situation, especially when you're solo. I should add here, I by no means take credit for figuring this out. I think the first place I seen it was 2-3 seasons ago. There's a YouTuber, Selfu. He's the first person I seen the interaction when you're holding the orb and doing a slide melee charged attack. Anyways, moving on. Just a quick note for this section, for the unstoppable, if you're right about here in the center platform, the little unstoppable guy, or all the ads there, but especially the unstoppable guy can't get you. So right here. So you're far enough away, like his blast disappears before it hits you, but he's still shooting at you. So if you want to do this safely and calmly, anyways, just stay back there to shoot that guy. Now, there used to be a sweet spot on the floor for this first Shrieker here where he would open up and you could damage him, but he wouldn't shoot at you. And for some reason, for this run or this week, I can't find the sweet spot. So I've tried a few times and I can't find it. I don't know if I just lost my touch for this week, or if the sweet spot is just gone in general. But otherwise, it's not like it's terribly difficult to just take it out from the door from peeking in and out. The next section, you got 3 more Shriekers after that, plus 2 Unstoppables, plus some Taken Knights with Arc Shields. So you're going to be dealing with Arc and Void Shields again for the next little bit here. I'm not going to bore with the details here, but we'll talk about the Ogre, like kind of the Dark and Light Ogre rooms. Now, the mechanic for this room, it seems pretty simple. So you got the light side here that I'm in right now, and you're going to have just a regular Ogre boss and an Unstoppable Ogre. Now, you're going to be teleported intermittently between the light side here and the dark side. Now, when you go to the dark side, you'll have the Taken Ogre boss and 2 Unstoppable Taken Phalanxes. Now, depending on which one you kill first is what room you're left in. So if you kill the dark one first, then you'll get teleported to the light side. You'll never go back to the dark room. And again, vice versa. If you do the light side first, you'll get taken to this dark room and you'll never go back to the light side until you're done this little encounter. Anyways, so keeping that in mind, what you want to do is kill the light one first, because when you kill the light one, you get taken to the dark room, and then when you kill the dark room boss, all the ads disappear except for the Shriekers. Where if you do it the opposite way, if you do the dark one first and leave the light one, when you kill the light one, none of the ads disappear. You still got to deal with all like the Hive Knights with their arc shields and their like boomer cannons, and it's a big mess and much harder, in my opinion. Anyways, now the only thing you got to watch out for here that's kind of a pain, especially when you're solo, is you got to take out the champions though, because you don't want to lose platinum. So when you're in the light room, that's kind of my first focus here, is I got to find that Unstoppable, and I want to make sure I get him, because sometimes he'll run off to the back room. He's hard to get, and I want to kind of kill everything from this side here. But I'm lucky this time he came running up, so then I can just take him out when he's right up in my face, so it's easy. Now, in this room, the Taken room, I got the Taken Phalanx Unstoppables. So, and they're a little bit harder to get to come forward. You'll see me actually run into the room kind of to kite them, or bait them into somewhere where it's just a bit more convenient to kill them. But other than that, I'm semi-ignoring the boss. I'm still damaging, but I don't want to kill that boss because I want to kill this guy first. If that makes sense. So now he's dead. I'm going to go to the dark room. All the ads in the light room have now disappeared. Like, they're gone. So that's why I had to kill that Unstoppable first, because I feel like he disappears too at the same time. Although it's been a while since I tested it. I'm just going off my memory. But I believe that's how it works. So if you still have the Unstoppables here, take them out. And then you can just focus on the main boss. And then after that guy's done, the only thing that's left is Shriekers. All the ads disappear. And then just book it to the portal. You can ignore the Shriekers. Just go this way, and you're fairly safe from the Shriekers. I mean, don't dawdle though. Why would you dawdle? Don't dawdle. Just run straight for the portal. Now the rest of the section, pretty simple stuff. You got 2 Unstoppables there. You can take them out from a distance. Honestly, like, this part's really easy, because if you get overwhelmed, you can just turn around and run as far away as you want. And yeah, don't worry about it. Now, those 2 Taken Knights, they're on the side. They're super annoying with their stasis cannons, so, I mean, kill them at your leisure. And then just clear these 2 Unstoppables in the center platform here, and then that's it, super easy. And then there's 2 Overloads in the far back. So what I like to do anyways for me is I do the left one from up here. It's fairly safe, pretty easy spot is just right here. He's always hanging out. Easy enough to blast him from up here. So for the second one, I usually just run to the center there, because you see him right there. And I'll just go to this column, because it's the type of champion where they unleash those like 3 waves of those balls as soon as you do any damage to them. So any little bit of cover helps. Anyways, clear him out fast enough. Now the boss captain, the other yellow bar that's there, you don't have to worry about him at all. He has nothing to do with platinum, so run by him if you wish. Now this part, the dropping part, right, you don't want to wipe here. So what I prefer to do if I'm being super safe is I'll just jump on these rocks here. But again, that's up to you. You can just bail and just hope for the best and dive down if you want. Like, that's fine. It's just for me by myself when I'm solo. I don't want to wipe just because of that. Anyways, that's it. There's an overload champion just in the distance there. Just, you want to tap him at least with one bullet anyways, but 99% of the time he's just going to bail off the edge and kill himself. So tap him with a bullet just so you get credit for the kill. Yeah. And then move on. The rest is super simple stuff, just like it is any other time you run this strike. Just, there's 2 more champions, overloads you got to take out, so do that, and then you're on to the boss room. So now for the boss, she actually has like some pretty super simple mechanics here. So as soon as you run up and activate the encounter, really, you're gonna have a wave of ads drop in. So what you can always do is you can turn around, you can bail back to this island right here, and there's good enough cover from the boss because she can't hit you from this far back. So she does shoot arc, so it is kind of dangerous. But you can clear out the majority of the ads from here. You can clear out all the ads from here too. It might be a little tedious and get a little bit long. If you have a super, especially a super I'm running right now, being solar, by all means, I may as well use it here just because it's useless against the boss, at least for this first part. Now, after you have all the ads cleared out, this first wave of ads, they won't respawn, so then you're totally free and clear to like jump up there and start grabbing the ball and knocking Sadia's immunity shield off of her. Now, pay attention to her shield's health there, because once you do the last one, another wave of ads is going to spawn in. So before you do any damage to her, you want to make sure you clear out the ads before any damage. Like, don't even shoot one bullet at her. Wait for the ads to come right here, so we'll see the last hit there, and then all the ads are going to spawn. So I'm going to run back to my island there and clear out the ads first before doing any single damage to her at all. Oh, there's snowballs. I guess I'm going to chuck some snowballs because why not? But after all the ads are cleared out, okay, that's when you're going to do damage to her. Now, if you're in a fire team, what you want to do is have someone grab a ball, pass it back and forth between each other, and then just drop it on the ground. And then right when you're ready to do damage, just all 3 of you unload on her. Linears preferred, especially with Sadia. She gets like an extra crit damage taken by linears for some reason. Like, her crit damage is like increased a whole bunch. So linears do way more damage to her than they do against other normal bosses. I'm not sure why. That's just how it works for these types, Taken Techians, whatever it is. But as soon as you start doing damage, she's going to teleport to the other side. Now, if you're at a fire team, keep damaging her. When she goes to the other side, her shield will go up for a second, and then one player needs to pick up that ball. If she's not dead already, chuck it at her, kill her, and then you guys should have time just to completely kill her in this first section. So this is where you're going to want, like, high damage. Like, if you have any hunters, you know, golden gun, you know, doing a crit headshot with the golden gun, that kind of stuff. Super helpful. Works really good on her. But if you're by yourself, though, same thing, except you're not going to get her in one shot, and that's why this one gets, the difficulty increases quite a bit when you're by yourself compared to if you're with a fire team. So doing this solo the long way, she's going to go to the other side, her shield's going to go back up, more ads are going to spawn in, so you're going to do one more wave just from your island here, which again is semi-safe. Again, if you have your super, not a bad time to use it to clear out the ads. If you have a super that's good for clearing ads, go for it. There's solar shields, so right now I'm using adaptive munitions on my scout to deal with the solar shields, but again, if you got a solar weapon, now's a good time to have a solar weapon. So you're going to clear all the ads, same thing as before. Once all the ads are cleared, then you're going to go to the other side there, get the orb, chuck it to her. Now, the only difference here is once you bust her shield, you're not going to run back to your island to clear ads. You're just going to deal damage to her right away and get her to teleport away. And then the portal opens up and you can vacate through the portal before the ads are an issue. Now, for me, the path leading up to the boss for the final phase is definitely like, this is where like something long range like a scout like really comes in handy, because you have one overload and one unstoppable to deal with through this whole thing. But it's the knights for me that are kind of the biggest pain in the ass, because the boss here, we'll see, she doesn't disappear until those knights are taken out. So there's a knight standing beside her right there. After you kill that, then the boss will disappear and move on to the next section once you do the knight. So that's kind of the biggest pain, is those knights. They got the solar shield, so so take them out anyways and move up to the last section here. Now, once you get up to the last section with the boss here, As soon as you jump up there, ads are going to spawn in, so you have a choice. As soon as the ads spawn in, you can turn around on that platform you just came from and run back and clear this first wave of ads from there. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. Or if you want to just take them out on the go, like, so for Grandmaster, I'll usually bail back there just to clear these Scions more safely, but for Master, it's not as big of a deal. Just remember for these Scions, like, take them out as soon as possible before they have a chance to multiply. And they do shoot arc too, so it hurts. It hurts a bit. But for this first section, so this last part of the boss kind of has two phases. So the first one is her first shield. So again, just running laps. You don't want to stop because her scream and push. But after she does her push, that's a good time to throw the Orby at her immune shield there. And then you just want to keep on running. So don't stop running. Just with her scream push there. If you want to do it safe, just wait till she does her push, scream. Once she does her scream, you know you're safe to throw an orb at her. As soon as her shield pops, two Taken Knights are going to spawn in. They're going to have solar shields, so keep that in mind. If there's any spot you want to kind of stand to fight them, it's this back part here, because then if she pushes you back, just like this, you can land on this. You can land on this little back part, and you've got plenty of time to jump back up into the arena. But clear these two Taken Knights, and then after that, you are free to do damage to the boss. As soon as you're done damage phase, her shield's going to come back, its sounds are going to come back. Clear the sounds first, and then you're good to do the last part of the full encounter. Nothing too different from this part. You still want to wait till she does her scream, and then you're just going to jump up to the center here and then chuck it at her shield. So me, I just have all these habits from doing Grandmaster. There's no reason for Master. You can't just stay up there and throw the ball at her. Now, one thing to watch out for, didn't happen to me this season, not yet anyways, is you want to make sure she's not like in your way when you go to jump up to that platform, because she's flying, and there's been a few times in the past for me where I have a mid-air collision with her, unfortunately, and it never works out. It's just like, you know, you stop dead in your tracks and you fall into like the storm of asteroids that's kind of circling that center platform there. But yeah, other than that, you know, wait till she screams, run up there, grab a ball, throw it at her shield. As soon as you pop her shield, then you can do final damage. She's got barely any health left, a few linear shots to the head, and she's done. And that's it. And that's like super casual way on how to complete this solo. Again, if you didn't burn her down in the first phase as the fire team, if you're in a fire team now, nothing really changes as far as like strategy, I think, for this. Just, you know, it's just quicker to take her shield down because someone's going to pick up the ball, you're going to pass it off to someone and then throw it at her, and it's going to pop it right away. So it's just, everything's just a lot faster. That's all. But that's it. So just remember, for that last part anyways, safest thing to do is if you are going to stand to fight anywhere, make sure it's at that kind of the back half where you first jump up that platform, because then when she blows you off, you have that back platform to fall onto. You're not going to wipe. Hopefully something in here was helpful. The elevator part, I think, that used to be the biggest problem for me, was the elevator. Other than that, maybe the light and dark ogre section, taking out the light ogre first, way easier for me, my opinion anyways. These are getting like way too long. Like, this is another 20-minute plus one. I'm gonna tighten these up going forward. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching though. Yeah, thank you a lot.